Hi everyone, it's Carolyn here to share another channeled message. But today it's from a new group that showed up with me over the weekend. So those of you who have been following me understand that this channel was created to share the Lightkeepers, who are a group of angelic beings who channel for your awakening journey support through me. And I offer those to you through the YouTube channel. However, on occasion, there are a few different groups that I have connected with in the past that come through for specific messages at specific times. The Ancient Ones are one group. I think those are there's another group. I can't remember who it is. Anyway, it doesn't happen very often, and this hasn't happened for some time. But this weekend, it happened. And I'm always amazed when it does. So, it's a group, and I'm going to read you, actually, part of my conversation with them, but I'm going to tell you the story first. And then I'm going to read you their channel and then give you my download like I always do. So this group is called the Noble Ones. And let me tell you how this happened. It was Saturday night of this past week. So this is getting posted on Wednesday. And I was in my kitchen having a nice night. I was actually really cooking a beautiful meal for myself. It was Friday night. And cooking a beautiful meal, just kind of in the zone, feeling really high vibe. And I had... I don't watch a lot of TV, but I have for some time been drawn to Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. And there's a whole long story there with that. But anyway, it's always on Fridays, like marathon day on Fridays. And so anyway, for a couple hours in the evening, I'll click it on while I'm doing other things. So I'm watching that. I'm not really listening. I'm doing my thing with my cooking. Oh, and then suddenly, as it happens, I felt this whoosh. And I heard something to the effect of, the Noble Ones are here. But it was it was more like, the Noble Ones are here. And I said, oh, okay. And I know my history with this since my awakening that, okay, this is another group. We started a conversation. I will share part of that conversation with you, but what I noticed quickly was how very robotic they sounded, very intellectual, very flat emotionally, almost emotionless, which is when they took affront to that. And they told me they did, that they're not understood at all or well known to humankind at all, but they're amongst us, which I'll talk about. So what transpired from there was me having this short conversation with them saying they would like to channel through me, and that they do have difficulty communicating because we see them, we become fearful when we encounter them, which is not, I don't want to say not that often. Okay, they just said not as often as the others that you are used to. Okay, meaning humankind. Oh, and then they do go explain that, which I will share later. But, so I said, okay, all right. And I thought, wow, this is a different flavor. This is a robotic, mechanical, unemotional group. That's what I thought. So I called my friend, Celeste. You've seen her on a video with me recently. I said, Celeste, I got to tell you what just happened. So I explained to her what happened. And as we're talking about them, I was mentioning emotionalist, she says, kind of Spock-like. And all of a sudden we felt this, we don't like that comparison because Spock didn't have emotion, or at least from what I know didn't, but that was our premise, using that as the example. And then I said to her, ooh, they just said to me they show their love in a different way because they are very loving. And suddenly, we both felt, at the same time that we're on the phone, this overwhelming, this cannot be put into words, and now I have chills, this overwhelming love vibration that went through both of us. I got teary-eyed. I got emotional in a way that was full body emotional, and so did she. It was just this whoosh. So what they said was that, and I think it's in the channel too, if not, I want to make sure to share it with you here, that they do not share emotion through expressions and words. They share it through feelings and through the body, through the, in our case, our physical being, but it's almost like they think the thought of the emotion, which without the expression in the words, and then it is felt to the next being of their kind and to us. We both were just floored. And so we said, okay. I said, all right, we understand now. I understand now that our human construct teaches us that, emotions, are expressed and shown and are in words when we're all different throughout all of our interplanetary systems. So I'm going to share with you what the noble ones have to say. Honestly, I feel like it's a simple message. I don't know. When these groups come to me, I think, oh my God, what are they going to say? And, it's going to be something earth-shattering. And it is, and yet it is so obvious. But we forget these things. And I think it's so important to understand what they are saying and then embody it. But I first want to tell you something else before I get going on it. It's funny, and I'm just going to share this because as I was getting ready to share this message, I do that in Lightkeepers mostly. And so I thought, oh God, here we go with another group. And then I started thinking, oh my gosh, can you imagine if somebody from before my awakening, in my friend set or whatever, or people that I grew up with, ran across this video? Forget that they might run across the Lightkeepers, right? Oh my Lord. I was thinking, they would just think I was so Looney Tunes, just Looney Tunes. But it's so neat to see how many people are coming around to understanding that we're not alone and that, yes, people can channel other groups of beings. And there are messages out there from other groups of beings that are helping us through this awakening journey and through this ascension. And far be it from me to understand when everybody will transition into this understanding, but I know you guys are there to grasp onto this, to open your minds up to all that is available to us that we for so long have shut down in humankind. So with that, I want to welcome you all today to my channel, Carolyn Zaiser, where I'm a channel, a distance energy healer, and a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these channels for your support during your ascension and awakening journey. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get going on reading the channel, and then I'm going to just talk about it a little bit, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so as I mentioned, part of this initial piece is a conversation I was having. So I said, we need to explain who you are because I don't know. And they said, we are ethereal beings from a star system far away. Let's just leave it at that. Unknown for the most part to humankind. Difficult to communicate with, we are in the sense of we have yet to find a correct way to communicate in a way that humans understand us. But we have a message for you today we wish you to disseminate. And so then I said, can you explain your personality? Yes, of course, you see us as robotic and cold, and then you become fearful. We have entered many of your lives, but you fear us, for you do not understand our emotionless ways, in the sense of how humans describe emotion. And yet, as you experienced this evening, we are more full of emotion than any human can imagine. We wish you to understand there are more complexities to the beings that you encounter on a regular basis. And many more wish to extend their greetings and gratitude, and yet are concerned for your plight. Few of us are able to extend ourselves to humankind, for we reach through the skies and stars and the multitudes through space and time, to reach you in a way no one can ever imagine. For we reach you through time and space, a linkage that has long been lost, portals that have been closed, one of which Earth was fully used to communicating through at one point in time, and then all was shut down. Many of you of this understanding know the occurrence we speak of, and then all changed. The veil overcame all of you, and now you are beginning to peer through in a way that you are only beginning to understand. The multitudes are upon you in the sense of seeing you from afar, for we are further far than you know. Those you speak to regularly, and we give you the Pleiadians, the Arcturians. Those who are more common in your understanding are those at the forefront of your existence, in the sense of creation, we say. And yet, there are those of us from afar, And then I say, I am really seeing you as far away. Like you're showing me the galaxies and the planetary systems. And then what they showed me was, I always get visuals of maps, like either the star systems or the world when I'm identifying like location. So they showed me the Pleiades and all the other star systems up close. The Pleiadian star system and the Arcturians are showing it up close. And then they were so far away. Anyway, so I go on. You are so far away. And they said, yes, there are many who wish to communicate from further afield, and it is difficult to get through, too, for humans are fearful. And I say, help me understand this fearful. Do you come in form, meaning in human form or in bodily form? We do. We often are the ones who appear to you in a way that feels more ghost-like and ethereal, in a way that is in your face. And I was kind of taken back with that. I said, what do you mean? In a way that is very evident, and you cannot doubt that you saw us. We are of a serious nature on the outer, often may appear frightful to those of humans who have great emotion and expression, and ultimately read intent on the face of another. That is not our way. We provide our knowing of you, and you of us, in the feelings of the body as you experienced this evening. So then I say, so why are you here and why did you arrive? As you must have a message. We do. We are at a critical juncture for all of humankind. Not just all of humankind, but the great masses beyond. For you do not understand what is in your way. For you feel as though you are the only ones forever across time to take up the space and time continuum. You are but a small minority, and yet incarnated from many of us, the places from beyond, and yet your memory has been erased for good reason. Yet now the precipice that is in front of you in the times when even those of you awakening argue and fight against one another as to who is right and wrong. But that is only your human state getting in the way, for we offer love and kindness and an understanding of the place you are all in, a choice you are all to make at one point in the future. Do you choose to move fully toward the light and set your own individuality and ego aside in the sense of feeling the great individuality that you have all felt over time? For you are not singularity in the sense of your own soul. For the one who walks right next to you, the stranger in your way, is of you and you are of them. And we see now that those in the awakening still fall into those places and groups of separateness, not oneness. We ask you this day to strive to move forward further in the name of love and grace, seeing that each is an individual, the uniqueness in themselves, and that they will find their way in this journey at their own time, at their own pace, and in their own way. There is no one recipe for this, and we wish you to know that many messages have been brought that there is only one way in the sense of the awakening. Yet this actually offers instead a similar view of what the human-created religion has. For there is no one way toward this light for this great ascension in time. There are opportunities for you to follow, paths for you to follow, ideas for you to offer. But the only pathway is of love and light. And we wish you to understand that this separateness right now between those of you who are awakening and ascending and those of you who are light-filled, you misunderstand in the sense that you feel as one, for you do not behave as one, even in the light community. So we ask this day as we watch from afar, very afar, and yet we do enter your awareness for some of you. You know who we are, here to bring you love and light in your day and night, and often you see this in the dark as light wisps moving past you. For we have entered your plane of existence at this time, and you will see us more now than you ever have. We are here to assist and to bring the light upon you, seeing that you open up to community, to understanding that all is one, and to actually operate in that vein, to catch yourself when you are not, and to understand that judgment is only a human condition, that all judgment is of naught. For your brethren beside you operate in the same manner, in the sense of coming from the realm of all. the oneness, and yet have a different path chosen, a different way of seeing and looking and believing, and yet this is the way of the one, the I am, the experience of all. Knowing that all will come back together to explore and understand the differing experiences all have. For this is what you are here to do. Create your own path of reality, learn from others in the meantime, but never be told that one must be of a certain way, unless it is only love and lightness, kindness and caring, understanding who you are at the highest plane of existence, and ultimately that all are one. We bring to you this day, those in the awakening community and ascended ways, to understand the tipping point is coming soon in your way. We are here to support you, and we see many of you regularly. And yet, we come from afar to give you this heating of wisdom, to know that all follows in the way of love. Do not judge your brethren, do not lash out in hatred or unkindness. Bite your tongue as you see this is not the way. Step back from the fray, pull yourself within, and let the deep heart of you guide you, the soul of you. For if you do this and allow the greatness of you to guide you, those will come in their way as it is meant. For the precipice comes, the tipping point is here, soon to be. All you do each day matters in the sense of how you offer yourself to another. Look deeply in their eyes and know that you are in oneness. We are here to bring you this message today of awareness of yourself in this time and space reality, the importance of each moment, and how you behave in the sense of the kindness and love to your brethren, the offer you give to one another, the vibration you offer that allows one to rise higher in the ascension and the awakening. We ask you this day to take upon you a greater understanding and an awareness in your day-to-day for each who enters your way. We wish upon you all the grace of the greatest all-knowing, all-being, all-seeing Creator of time. For we are with you from afar, the noble ones who assist you in this great day that you will soon find when all gather to be as one. So, that's my first communication with the noble ones, and they do have a different tone about themselves. They speak differently. It's really interesting. So when I actually think about this message, it seems rather basic and obvious, right? But I think it's so basic and obvious that it just slips by us, and then we fall back into our human pattern, and all these little things come our way that we say, that we do about another, because we're so used to competing with each other in our human world, in our societies nowadays, and being better, one-upping the other, having a brighter path, having a brighter journey, whatever it is, it all sneaks in. And so why they're telling us this is it has to do with vibration. Because as we continue to still have those little pecks of things that affect us and that then are projected onto other people, and that energy is out there, that doesn't allow our vibration to continue to raise in the manner that it actually can. And to really understand that everybody's journey is different. We may, meet somebody who is spiritually awakening and has the complete opposite path of us. And you may think, well, you're not doing it right, or how can that possibly be? That's their journey. They may be going through this path to get, on the main course of the awakening, which we're all on, and we all take these little weaves. They may take this big trajectory off that path because guess what? They want to experience this too, to be able to understand how it fits into the awakening. Okay? So, as I think about what the noble ones have to say, they also spoke of the tipping point, which I thought was really interesting. Now, we don't, in the Light Keepers work, talk a lot about time, because it's very hard to pin down when something's going to actually happen. But we've talked a lot about the sense that 2020 is a big year for whatever reason. Okay, we talked a lot about 2019, how this is a big clearing year, and the energies, are lightening up. We talked about that in August, and now they've actually started that way for those of us in this what I consider this wave, because we're all at different stages. But when we think about tipping points, what I'm getting, okay, now I have chills, and I haven't even said it, and this is often what happens when they're confirming to me that I have this correct. tipping point of the weight of those awakening, allowing that to pull others in. Okay, that's what I'm getting, is that this tipping point is about, oh, they just said it's a magnetic force. Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. I love when I channel right when I'm recording videos. This is cool. So anyway, so it's and that's what I was seeing too. So basically the tipping point is this: we have this weight of people awakening. And as we are this magnet for the others, and they're showing me this, to come along. And I gotta tell you, just yesterday I was with a friend who, she's been awakening and is very much on her trajectory. And people in her family who she never in a million years thought would even start to wake up are waking up. I've talked to a number of other people where they're starting to see this happening. People are starting to see numbers in their family and their friends. You're going to see this start to happen as you move further and further in your journey too. So again, as they speak, the tipping point, yeah, we're bringing them along. They can't help but come along in their own way. But the mentioning here today of the little bit more that we can do to be very consciously aware of the vibration we send out to others, the thoughts, remember, thoughts are things, the words we send to other, the judgments we have. You know, a lot of this happens online in big groups online. A lot of judging is happening. A lot of, oh no, that's not the way to do it. Or, you know, nasty stuff at times too. I do find I'm on very seldom now on the bigger groups I was on earlier because, you know, I'm working my own thing to try to keep that up. But it can get a little not light out there. So what I would just say is think about how this might be something that you can just take one little thing and do something different. Spend some time being introspective about this. Where does this come out for me? We all do it. We all do it. Otherwise, we'd be some saint sitting on top of a hill on a pedestal. But seriously, we all do it. So think about how you can employ one more thing that you do in your day to send light to someone or shift up the way that you think about someone. Or when you catch a thought of something that feels really judgmental, stop. Bring it into your awareness. Don't just let it go. Now, and then realize, oh, look what I just did. So conscious awareness of this is really important too, because then you're more likely not to do it again. So anyway, I thought this was interesting today. I loved their message, and they're such an interesting group. I hope they come back when they have something more to say. I find that these special groups, I would say, they're not around my awareness unless they have really something to say, and then they're just kind of not there. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this today. And keep in mind, I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. I would absolutely love to work with you on your journey as you move forward. And I channel information for you as we work together to launch you forward into some of the goals you have over your spiritual awakening journey. I also offer channeling where you get pages of information for your session, as well as distance energy healing and channeling together. So reach out to me if you're interested in working with me. I would love to work with you. And again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.